Last time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Never-Ending Nightmares. Don't go into the basement. Man, what a great name for a movie.
Dude,
It's like,
hold on,
what
wait a second. That is not the name of the movie. It's House by the Cemetery, okay? Get it right.
Yeah, but, the people die when they go into the basement, and always dragging people into the basement, and that's where all the horror is in the basement. So why don't they just call it Don't Go in the Basement?
Because it's not a cheesy 80s horror movie, that's why.
Wait, did you actually just say that and believe it?
Yeah, I see your point, but really we gotta get on with this, okay?
Okay. Last time on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Never-Ending Nightmares. Don't go, no, okay, I get it. It's House by the Cemetery. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror, Never-Ending Nightmares. Yes, episode 26. Coming off of last night's episode in which I review the delightful Lucio Fulci movie, House by the Cemetery, I thought, you know what? I think I will do another Fulci movie, one of his, another installment, I guess I would say, of the so-called Gates of Hell or Seven Doors of Death trilogy, which involves House by the Cemetery, and this movie, which I'm going to talk about now, called City of the Living Dead, otherwise known as The Gates of Hell. So what's going on? Well, apparently a priest decides to hang himself in a cemetery, which for some reason opens the gates of hell and turns him into a sort of super zombie demon that can kill people just by looking at them. No, seriously, a girl stares at him, her eyes start bleeding, and she vomits out her intestines. Pretty nasty scene anyways. Well, while this happens, a psychic in a seance sees these horrible visions and dies, only to come back to life again, and then helped by a reporter to try to close the gates of hell before All Saints' Day, or else, well, the dead will walk the earth and all of us will die. Zombie apocalypse type stuff. So they go to the mysterious town of Dunwich, which, for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's because the gates of hell opened, the dead are starting to rise back from the grave and kill people. And so basically a psychiatrist and one of his patients try to figure out what's going on, meet up with the reporter and the psychic, and work to find a way to close the gates of hell before time runs out. Basically figure out where the evil suicidal priest went and try to stop him from well, killing everyone, basically. So honestly, that's really the plot of the movie right there. And so honestly, it's quite straightforward. Nothing too twisty or turny. So let's get to those scores. So we've got violence and gore. I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Honestly, there's not a lot of violence in this movie, at least in my world. Not at too high of a body count. A lot of stuff happens off screen, and you may see some of the aftermath, but a couple scenes do kind of stick in your mind. There's a lot of skull crunching and brain ripping in this movie, but really the piece de la resistance, or whatever, is the drill through the head scene, which is spectacular. I mean, it's wonderfully done. Probably one of the best gore effect deaths in cinema history right there. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to behold. So that's why I'm getting a 3 out of 5. Shock value 2 out of 5. There's a bunch of jump scares, and some of the brutality of the deaths are pretty there. So 2 out of 5. I'm giving the plot a 2 out of 5. honestly, even though it's pretty straightforward, there's a lot of questions like, okay, like, did the priest do it because he knew he was going to open the gates of hell and become a super demon, or he just decided, oh, I don't want to live, I'm just going to kill myself, and oh, by accident, I opened the gates of hell. The whole thing about the psychic dying and coming back to life, and a lot of convenience there, because like the reporter wanted to find out how she died, and she goes to her burial, and oh, I just happens to hear her screaming inside the coffin. I mean, you know, it's not that great. So 2 out of 5. The acting, I'm gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5. Oh, a lot of people probably say that the acting in this movie is bad. I found it to be relatively enjoyable. I like the guy who plays the detective. He's the same guy, I think, who plays the detective in the movie Pieces. So, and I enjoyed his performance in Pieces, and I kind of got the same performance. Well, I guess he's not really a detective in this one. He's more of like an investigative reporter. But anyways, I really enjoyed his role, and of course the main girl. She seems to be in a lot of these Italian horror movies, and you know, I enjoy what she does. So 2.5 out of 5. So you know, fuck you haters. Let's go to Nudity. Unfortunately, this is a 0 out of 5. There's not really anything going on. There's a makeout scene, and the guy gets a little gropey, and you may have seen something, but you don't know, so it doesn't count. 0 out of 5. Now my enjoyment factor. Enjoyment factor, I'm giving it a 3 out of 5. Honestly, the movie feels a little meandering. They do draw out some of the scenes a little bit longer, like at the burial of the seance girl, the psychic. He hears her kind of clawing and struggling, and he's kind of stopped, and he's like, no, I didn't hear that. And he keeps having this back and forth moment with it, and it just takes way too long. You should just, like, you know, have one back and forth moment and then go check. Not have like 20 of them and feel like we're taking 5 minutes to get this thing done, you know. So, but still, I mean, honestly, the movie feels longer, but it's not that long of a movie. It's just there's some pacing issues in this movie. So, but I enjoyed the gore effects. I enjoyed the awesome dark atmosphere, the whole Lovecraftian theme and vibe going on. I mean, come on, Dunwich horror, you know. But in the end, a solid film that, of course, has its flaws. So I'm giving my overall impression a 2.75 out of 5. Honestly, out of the 3 movies in this so-called trilogy, this is probably the weakest, in my opinion, because it's just, it's slower. It's more meandering. I mean, it may be more violent, technically, than House by the Cemetery, but House by the Cemetery just flows. It just bangs, bang, 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 and it's done. This one, even though I think it's almost about the same length in time, is just, it feels, just if you feel the length, the drawn out nature of this film. So, kind of like the drawn out nature of this review, right? So that averages out to a 2.2 out of 5. So there you have it. Usually I guess that average more than House by the Cemetery, probably because of the extra shock value in there. But honestly, you know, it's a solid horror movie, but I don't think it's not one of his best, and it's definitely the weakest of the 3 movies. So there you go, Screw me. City of the Living Dead, otherwise known as the Gates of Hell. So tune in tomorrow, where I think I will finish the trilogy with probably one of my favorite Fulci movies. I don't know, it's up there. It's probably one of his best. I mean, I would say like top 3, top 4. I mean, Zombie, come on. I mean, Zombie is just a classic. But this movie is a classic in and of itself. It is pretty damn good, and that would be The Beyond. So tune in tomorrow for The Beyond, which honestly I think probably is a tour de force in the gore factor. I mean, there's just some like it has the greatest head explosion scene ever, I think. But anyway, so let's let's leave it at that. So, yeah, gee, I'm just a little scattered today. That lack of sleep will get you there. So, anyways, until then, you guys stay scary, internet, and yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done, guys. So, I gotta hang in there just a little bit longer. Till then, stay scary.